This is the Backlog Exposed podcast, bringing you weekly discussions on gaming, as well as quick insights into sports, entertainment, and anything else that we can think of. To get in touch with us, be sure to check out our website, thebacklogexposed.com, where you can find all of our social media details like Twitter, Discord, YouTube, and Facebook. Now, gear up and get ready, because this backlog is about to be exposed. Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 25 of the Backlog Exposed. I am your host, Kevin, and it is November 13th. We are wrapping up 2018. It is happening faster than you can imagine, and I'm going to start this podcast off with something very, very important to me. I need to get my groove on here, so I am going to pay some homage to my counterparts over at PlayPSVR. You can find them at playpsvr.com. They have a podcast, my friends Adam and Alex. They always do a little thing called Gamer Juice. I don't really call it that. I like to call mine beer. But today I'm going to just have some Sam Smith's Organic Chocolate Stout. I need something to quell the nerves. Had just around the holidays and things when you have time off and a lot going on. You want to get things done and you don't get what you need done. You don't get the games played that you want to play, and so I'm gonna just crack one open here. Let's get it started. Let's I'm gonna get the mic nice and close so you can hear this. All right, I got a little mechanical bottle opener here, so smells pretty good to be honest. All right, stop messing with the mic. Yeah, it smells pretty good. I mean, when you smell it, it smells like a chocolate. Yeah, it smells good. Like a chocolate milk almost. Yeah, that goes down real smooth. So, malt beverage with natural flavors added. Sam Smith's Brewery up in New York. And USDA organic. This is not fake beer. This is organic beer. So, I'll be sipping on this along the way, hopefully. I got two here in front of me. I got more in the fridge, so I'm going to tear into them over the next 20, 30 minutes or so. I'm going to try to keep this one under an hour because I just don't have all night to edit this. I need to get to some gaming. I need to get to some relaxing. I need to get things done around the house, and y'all know how it is. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into it here. I want to start off with a little segment. Is Joe here, and does he have a podcast? I want to start off with a little segment here. Is Joe here, and does he have a PSVR yet? Hopefully, by 2019, the answer to both of those questions will be yes. But as of right now, let's see. Joe, are you there? Nope, no answer. So we don't have Joe with us today. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't own a PSVR yet. So I'm going to keep asking that question until he finally says yes, and says yes to both of those questions there. Joe's got a lot going on too, man. He not to harp on him too much, but he's just bought a house. He's moved in. He's painting. His wife's on top of him doing get everything done. And I completely understand. Moving has got to be one of the most stressful and annoying things that you can possibly do. Well, on top of it, one of the best. I mean, when you buy a new house or move into a new place that you've chosen, that's got to be just one of the coolest feelings, being able to say, this is mine. So he's got a nice big plot of land, and he's going to be doing a lot of lawn mowing, but, that's what they do out in Kentucky, and that's why you move out there, so you can mow lawns. So, Joe, hats off to you for, congratulations for buying that house, but look forward to getting back. Until then, I'll be doing this one solo or, riding along with some co-hosts and things like that. Now, funny little side story. Today is Tuesday. I'm recording this one after work on a Tuesday. Normally record on Sundays, try to get it out to you Sunday night so you can drive into work on Monday morning. But, it's not always going to be super consistent with this holiday and everything. So yesterday, I was going to sit back and record, and my son was all over me, man. He was like, just wanted to talk and talk and talk, so I did that instead. I talked to him, but then I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get him involved. I'm going to get him into this podcast. So I actually recorded about 15 to 20 minutes talking with my son trying, my 4-year-old, not my 7-year-old, my 4-year-old, I figured, how funny would it be to get him, in this podcast to see if he could provide any input at all? Unfortunately, the answer to that question is no. All he wanted to talk about was Disney Infinity. Disney Infinity. Disney Infinity. He's got this kick where I got dozens of these Disney Infinity characters, and unfortunately, they've discontinued that game, but if you haven't played it, it's like Minecraft meets, better graphics meets Disney. So you can build worlds and things like that, and they made it pretty cool because you could share these worlds that you've built, and then randomly they just kind of discontinue these services. So screw you, Disney, and screw you, whoever made that decision, because people shelled out a shit ton of money to get each individual character over the course of 3 generations of games that came out one year after another, and then they just shut the whole thing down. And I feel like that was such a money grab. I don't know what details go into hosting those servers and everything, and I don't know, maybe it just wasn't profitable or worth it, but don't make people pay for the individual characters in a game and then shut it down and make the game nearly useless. Not being able to go online and get to some of these toy boxes and things makes it very hard for the younger kids who can't build their own little places to I don't know. It's just very frustrating. So luckily they can still get in and play. They can play the little worlds that came with the game, and you can probably find them for pretty cheap. eBay, they're selling these figures for anywhere from $2 to $100 a piece, depending on the character. And so if you look around, you can find yourself a good deal. My kids are loving this stuff, and I'm finding that I'm a frugal shopper, so I might spend a lot on it, but I'll get a lot for it. So I've just been getting the newer characters for 3.0 that came out a couple years ago, along with some of the older things that we never got when it first came out. And he is hellbent on playing this Disney Infinity. He wants to play co-op with everybody, split screen, constantly all day long. Daddy, please play with me. Daddy, please play with me. Jagger, please play with me. Unfortunately, it's tough to play with him because he just kicks you off the side of the land, and he doesn't know what the hell he's doing, but he has fun with it, so it's good to get down and play with him. I was going to upload some of it. Maybe I'll splice some of that in right here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So, Wesley, what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about when we do stuff. But we do stuff when we clean this house, but we just want to do this to clean this house all the time.
Yeah. So what are you talking about?
I'm talking about, but we have to clean this house when it's dirty with dog hair.
Yep, we have to clean the house when it's dirty with dog hair.
Yep, and pee and poop.
And pee and poop. Obviously, we got to clean that stuff up. Wesley, what is your favorite video game?
Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, and did you beat it?
No.
No? Did you get to Bowser?
No.
You didn't get to Bowser in Super Mario Odyssey?
But we got to the castle on Bowser.
Oh, you just haven't gotten enough gems to get in there yet? Well, we gotta fix that, don't we?
Yeah, but we got to defeat all of the levels.
Yeah. What else is in your backlog? What other games do you like to play?
I like to play, I like to play Super Mario 3D World.
Yeah, you beat that one, Super Mario 3D World.
Yeah, but
remember you beat Cat Bowser?
But Johnny beat him.
Yeah, Johnny beat him. Hey, Johnny's listening right now. Do you want to say hi to Johnny?
Yeah.
Say hi to Johnny.
Hi, Johnny.
What do you want to tell Johnny?
I want Johnny to bring his TV back.
You want Johnny to bring his TV back?
Yeah, Christian's TV.
Christian's TV?
Yeah.
Do you want to say hi to Christian? Say hi to Christian real quick.
Hi, Christian.
Awesome. Well, Wesley?
But Christian's far away.
Yeah, Christian is far away now, and that stinks.
I'm going to say Christian to not be far away.
Yeah.
Christian, don't be far away at your new house. Because I want to go to Johnny's house. But you miss Avina, but I want her to go to your house.
Yeah, so for all those who aren't aware of the situation, our friends who lived right down the road from us, they've moved away. Johnny, one of our hardcore listeners, thank you, Johnny, for listening. Screw you for moving. away because my
I
kids.
didn't want him to move away.
Exactly. You hear this? You hear this in the background? I mean, every day, man. Wesley is telling me how much he didn't want you to move away, how much he misses Athena, how much he misses Christy, how much he misses Christian, and so hey, we're gonna come terrorize you after Thanksgiving. All right. Either I did or I did not edit in some of Wesley. If I did, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you didn't get too annoyed. And if I didn't, thank yourself that I didn't make a whole episode like that. So, okay. Did Joe buy a PSVR yet? No, we've already talked about that. However, are you going to buy a PSVR this Black Friday? In just a couple of days, over the next week or two, I know Xbox is hosting a pretty solid sale, and it's not going unnoticed because PlayStation is stepping right up. Now, the PlayStation sale is, they're going to be selling both a couple of different bundles. And let me just see here. Xbox Black Friday 2018. So the Black Friday 2018 Xbox sale looks to be $200 for the Xbox One. And same thing's going for the PlayStation 4. You can get a PlayStation 4 Slim 1 terabyte with the critically acclaimed Spider-Man, one of the best games that you could possibly play. And yes, I still have to beat it, but at the same time, this is coming with this system straight for $200. I mean, that's ridiculous. This is a great system. Now, you can also get the Xbox One S for, and it's a 1 terabyte as well, for $200. You're going to be saving $100 on that Xbox bundle. And I don't know what it comes with. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't say the Xbox is coming with anything, but the PlayStation 4 comes with the game as well. So you're saving $160 there on that PlayStation. I have both. I tend to play the PlayStation a lot more than I play my Xbox, but there are some fun games on Xbox, and I do subscribe to Xbox Live Gold and all that. As far as the PlayStation, I strongly recommend, if you do get a PlayStation, if you haven't already, get into that PlayStation Plus. For those of you not aware, PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live are services that you can play online games with, so you can play with others. There are certain games which somehow make it past that and allow you to play their games online competitively with others without having to pay that fee. And it is anywhere from $40 to $60 a year. However, these services tend to provide well over the $60 that they ask in return. So every month they'll give you 2 to 3 video games, sometimes 5 video games for the PlayStation, and Xbox gives 2. So every 15 days or so they release a new game, and they last about 30 days on the thing. So as long as you own, or as long as you subscribe to the process, to the PlayStation Plus or the Xbox Live Gold, you'll have that on your account. Those games will stay forever until you stop paying. Now, if you stop paying, they don't go away. You just can't access them until you start paying again. So once you start paying again, you'll be able to get in there and play those games again. It's a great service. Another one on the Xbox that I wish was on the PlayStation is EA Access. I just don't understand how this one is so far under the radar and how it isn't like the most sought after service out of all these services. So for about $25 to maybe $30 a year, you can find deals all over the place for this. You can get into EA Access, which has a locker room of games, a lot of them being sports games. But you also have like all the EA classics, like, I don't know, Battlefield, all the different Battlefields, from Bad Company 1, 2, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, Hardline. You also have EA sports games like NHL, MLB, NHL, NBA, NFL. I mean, we're talking Madden games, 2018. The 2018 games are there. The whole thing, PGA Tour, NCAA, the whole gamut is there for your Xbox pleasure. They don't have the newest games, right? So if there's a 2019 version out right now, you might not be able to get it out of this locker room. However, the vault, they call it. However, you're going to have trials. So for example, Battlefield 5 comes out next week, or a week or two, and you can play it early just because of having this EA Access. The service provides a great deal of enjoyment, a lot of gaming. There's also like Mirror's Edge and all those games as well. Check it out. Just Google what's it called, EA Access of Vault, and you'll be able to get access to the list of the different games that are in the vault. And from what I understand, they stay there forever. So none of the games that were in the vault have gone. You also get UFC 2, UFC 3, UFC 1, Unraveled. There's a bunch of like Bejeweled and all these other games. There's about 20 or 30 games, I think. The Sims 4. It's like I said, it's a phenomenal service for the price, $30 a year. You can't really beat that, considering if you were going to play or buy Madden 2018 right now on the shelf, it's $60. So the only caveat here is that you got to pay perpetually. It's just gonna, $30 a year, $25 a year. But you know what? You're not gonna be playing Madden 2018 in 2020, right? So stick to this service on the Xbox, and you're gonna save yourself a lot of money. That's my opinion. Let me take a sip of this organic chocolate stout. So while we are talking about deals and Black Friday deals and things like that, I definitely need to mention the bundles that are coming with PlayStation. So I went off on a little tangent, but the reality is PlayStation VR bundles are going to be to die for this Black Friday. They start in just a couple of days. We're looking at PlayStation bundles at $200. You're going to be able to get Moss and Astrobot. I mean, two critically acclaimed, really, really phenomenal games. They're side-scrolling type, not side-scrolling, I'm sorry, they're platformers. They're platformer games that have a story and missions, this and that. Definitely for kids and adults. Both games have been getting nothing but great reviews since they came out. People are saying Astrobot is like Nintendo's Mario and Moss is like Nintendo's Zelda. So PSVR is, there's always going to be some crap there, right? We're going to talk about that crap, but there's also some phenomenal games. And in addition to this bundle, which comes with the camera, it does not come with Move controllers, right? These two games don't require the Move controllers. They don't use the Move controllers. So for $200, you can snag yourself Moss and Astrobot, along with the headset and the camera, everything you need to get playing VR, and that's a hell of a deal. It's going to be the 2.0 version of the headset as well, which has fewer cables, less heavy cables, but in my opinion, a better screen inside and everything. So jump on it. I mean, seriously, $200, you can't beat it if you already have a PlayStation 4. Like I said just a little while ago, if you don't have a PlayStation 4, you can grab yourself the $200 PS4 Slim bundle. Comes with 1 terabyte and a controller as well as Spider-Man. So $400. You can have yourself VR and a PlayStation and everything you need to be playing some amazing games. You cannot pass this up, everybody. Come on, seriously. This has to be the year and the Christmas that VR just goes freaking out of control. I mean, the games are getting crazy. Now, for $50 more, you're going to get 2 Move controllers along with Creed Rise to Glory and Super Hot. Creed Rise to Glory is Creed the boxing game, or the boxing movie, but as a game. I mean, you get Rocky in there training you. You literally hold the remotes like fists and you punch them, and you sweat. It is a workout for real. This is no joke. You can fight against friends. You can do the story mode. It's Punch-Out in VR, and it's really, really good. The graphics are good. The gameplay is good. The mechanics are good. And you have multiplayer, so you can go in and defeat other people who have this game, and you can play against them for real. It's a pretty awesome thing. Now, Super Hot, we've talked about it in the past, but this game is crazy, right? It's a very vectorized, like boxy-looking virtual space that you're in, and you are. It's kind of like a puzzle game meets steroids. You're standing in a space, and you have red guys, the bad guys, and nothing moves unless you move. So if you tilt your head, time goes, right? So as you move, the world around you begins to move. So they don't really give you a whole lot of instructions, but in essence, say there's a gun in front of you and you've got 2 guys coming at you. You've got to reach out and grab that gun. As you reach out to grab the gun, these guys start moving. But if you pause, they freeze. So you can kind of use your eyeballs and look around without moving your head, and you can observe the world and observe what you might need to do to get these 2 guys. Some of the rounds start off incredibly hard, like a bullet coming at you, and you got to dodge it. And if you don't dodge it, you get shot, right? If you get shot, round over. Some of the quirks about this game is that you have to progress in the mode, like the levels. You got to beat the batch of levels that are there. So like level 1-1, 1-2, 1-3. If you don't beat 1-3 and you die, you got to start over at 1-1, and so on and so forth. It gets complicated, but it's fun as hell. It's very innovative, and it's a game like you've never played before. If you've never played a super hot game, they even had it on controller, but in VR, it's completely redone. It's completely different because it's your body moving, not your fingers, not your controller fingers. We're talking about just moving your head a little bit to the left. These guys are going to start coming at you. I say it's a puzzle game because you got to figure out how to eliminate all the bad guys before the round is over, and they have very interesting ways to do that. You can pick and choose how you do it. There's no one set way to do it, so you got to solve that puzzle and crack the riddle on your own as you're inside that world. This is a great bundle. I recommend it to anyone who's on the fence. I suggest you get the Creed Rise to Glory with Super Hot because the price that you're getting that for, you're basically getting the 2 Move controllers, which are each about $50 if you were to buy them on Amazon or something. You can snag them on eBay, right? You can get used ones from people who had PS3s who don't know any better. You can get 2 for $50, but they're going to be used, and you never know about that on eBay if they're going to be hold a charge or anything like that. The camera, that's $60. The games, Super Hot and Creed, are both $40-$50 a pair, between 25 and 30, 40, I don't know. You're saving a bunch of money is all I'm trying to say. And these are great games, and the bundle is phenomenal. The Moss and Astrobot are not as replayable as the Creed and Super Hot. Creed and Super Hot are games that you can continue to play, whereas if you beat Astrobot and you beat Moss, you might be done with it. That's just reality. While they're both really good games, you can still pick those up as well on the side. I would go with the bigger bundle, $250. Now, you're going to need to get PlayStation Plus, probably. So you're looking at, if you're starting from scratch, you're looking at $600, right? I'm sorry, yeah. 200, let's see, let's do this math. 200 for the PlayStation, 250 for the VR bundle. So that is 450 plus $50 for the PlayStation Plus. And now we're looking at $500. Why did I say $600? Oh, because you're going to want to buy some games. Now, what games are you going to want to buy? You're definitely, depending on the bundle you pick up, you are definitely going to want to get either or both Moss and Astrobot, right? So grab one of those. I would suggest Astrobot. I think that is one of the top games that I've seen in VR. It's great for the family. It's great for friends. Great to show what VR can do. But then, listen, can you hear it? Can you hear it? Blocks in space. They're out there. And they're falling. Those blocks are Tetris. And if you don't buy Tetris, you are absolutely nuts. Now, I tend to play a lot of Fortnite. I tend to play nothing but Fortnite, right? I've been playing Tetris. I've been playing lots of Tetris. Tetris. Now, I don't claim to be good, and I don't know if it's just nostalgia from playing it so much in the past and not playing it a lot over the last 10 years or so. I mean, I've picked it up here and there. I've purchased Tetris several different times on several different systems, but they always seem to make it a little bit different and a little bit better. But this is the core and the root of all puzzle games. I mean, they can get more complicated, right? You can make different blocks do different things, and you can, Dr. Mario it up by putting things in the middle of the map that you drop on. No, this is pure Tetris in its clearest and cleanest form. The only bells and whistles are the ability to see some extra blocks. The only bells and whistles are the ability to get multiple Tetrises by building up a meter and slowing down time for a moment. That doesn't make it easier by any stretch of the imagination. It makes it harder in a lot of times. Now, if you play it natural, like the game is intended, it gets insane. The environment is just reacting with you. The music is reacting with you. Everything feels like you're in this moment. Now, I know it sounds like a lot of hype, but it is something that you need to just kind of be a part of to truly understand. Even playing this game flat is fun, to be honest. It's not the same. When you're playing it flat, it really is just Tetris, and it's no super extraterrestrial experience or anything like that. But when you're inside that headset, you do get lost, like they've been saying. It is phenomenal. You can change the color of the blocks, right? You can remove the environmental effects. You can reduce them. You can change the distance that the block panel is from you and all that stuff. The game board, I guess you would want to call it. But in essence, if you just play this thing naturally, the way that they want you to, the particles, the environment, the music, all that stuff is coming together. It gets intense, and you start sweating a little bit, to be honest, when it starts getting really, really fast. Now, I played a couple different modes, and when you play some of the other modes, not the journey mode, there'll be moments where, like, the music will get super fast if you get a Tetris, and then all of a sudden the blocks just start falling like crazy fast. And you gotta break out of that moment. You gotta, save yourself. And if you do, they start to slow down again, and you can pick yourself back up. But many a times it's like all of a sudden it just starts raining down blocks, and you're like, holy shit, oh my god, this is nuts. Oh, okay, phew, made it. And then there's other times where, oh my god, I wasn't ready for that, and boom, you're done. Just like that, you're out. So definitely pick this up. I mean, even if you hate Tetris, I suggest you try it, right? You rent it from GameFly or something. Get in there, play this damn game, because it is that good. What's the longevity of it? I mean, the longevity of it is how much do you want to beat your scores or your friends' scores? I mentioned the Play PSVR guys at the beginning of this podcast. Did a little challenge. I mean, it wasn't really much of a challenge considering I couldn't even come close to their scores. But I'm competitive. I have a super competitive nature about me. Even if I'm not that great at it, I want to get better. I want to do as good as I can. So with that being said, I try and I try and I try again. I've gotten better. I've gotten closer to their scores. But I want to beat their scores one day, so I'm going to keep trying and I'm going to keep playing. Maybe they'll stop and maybe I'll cross them and be able to move on to the next. But as of last check, I was top 5,000 in the world on journey mode. To me, that's pretty satisfactory. I've always been second to my brother Jeremy, who was number one at one time. I would love to see him play this game. I think he'd kill it. I think he'd be in the top 10 in no time, and that's a no doubt. That's no joke. I honestly believe he has the capability and skill set to this day, and maybe we'll find out soon enough. So, all right, a little bit of non-gaming news. We were going to talk the other day. I wanted to talk with Joe because we talked previously when I was recording this with my brother Jeremy last week, episode 24. We were watching the Patriots game, and they were playing Green Bay, and they beat the crap out of Green Bay. Or not, they didn't beat the crap out. They beat them. They beat Green Bay, and it was a good game. And I just wanted to kind of rub it into Joe's face. But as I went to record yesterday, I realized the Patriots got shellacked. And it wasn't really a topic I wanted to bring up. But, we're a day removed now, 2 days removed. And, they got beat. But at the same time, it's funny when you watch the news and everybody's talking about, like, what are they going to do now? They lost. What are they going to do? Tom Brady's declining. And they always pull this shit. Now, there will be a day when Tom Brady is done. There will be a day when he declines. But you can't just take one loss after a string of wins when they're in first place and throw out there like the world is, coming to an end for Tom Brady. It's over. It's over. It's over. No, let the guy take his licks and keep on ticking. He will retire when he's done. This is not the kind of guy who's going to play into his later years as he sucks every year after that. He's going to retire. He's got enough money. He's got enough rings. When he doesn't have the right gas in the tank, he's going to probably call it a day. I cannot imagine him withering away like, being a second tier, sitting on the bench, letting somebody else take over for him. He doesn't need that. So if he's done, he's done. He's not even close to done. The guy's got so much left, at least this year, or probably a couple more, and he could probably come out as the number one scorer, statistically, the number one quarterback ever in the history of quarterbacks if he chooses to. But this guy he breaks records, he wins championships, and I know not everyone's a Patriots fan, but you got to respect that. You got to respect. That's why I respect Aaron Rodgers, and I love Green Bay. I love watching him. He's a good ball player, and a lot of people hate on Tom Brady, but he is a humble guy. He does give really humble interviews where he talks about his team and not him. He's always given to his team. He may not talk so good about the opponent every time, but he's usually humble in loss and humble in victory. So I don't know what to say, but from a football standpoint, my brother was talking about the Chiefs. They're still tearing it up, and it looks like a fun season so far. So we're getting getting midway to the season. Patriots got a bye next week. They need to revamp what they've got going on, come back strong, and I think they will. UFC news real quick, too. I wanted to give another quick shout-out. My cousins, Buddy and Ricky, are going to be starting up their podcast, and I think that they're going to be doing a sample recording this weekend coming up here, or this week sometime. I'm going to get them on the podcast, give them some time to talk a little bit, off their cherry, so to speak. And I'm looking forward to their podcast because they talk a lot about MMA to each other and to me, and we text back and forth whenever the fights are on and stuff. And there was a great podcast that I used to listen to. It was Larry Pepe. He stopped doing his podcast quite some time ago now, almost a year ago or so, maybe 6 months. I don't know. Can't keep track of time anymore. But he stopped doing his podcast, and that was one of the ones I listened to religiously. He had great insight into MMA that wasn't like your normal insight. Like, he didn't kiss Dana White's ass. He talked about it, things like they were real. I hope Buddy and Ricky can do that. I don't doubt that they will because they're very savvy in their skill set to talk about MMA. I am going to be posting links and stuff when they do get their ball rolling, but hopefully, like I said, I'll get them on the podcast, talk about what they're going to be doing on their show. Real quick, Miesha Tate, there was rumors about, Miesha Tate's going to ONE FC. Yeah, she is. She's going to ONE FC, but not as a fighter. She's going as a VP, which is pretty cool for her. Happy to hear about that. Miesha Tate, long-time rivalry with Ronda Rousey. She did lose those fights, but she put up a fight and one time got an armbar so nasty that you couldn't imagine she'd ever fight again. And guess what? She not only fought again, but she won the freaking belt after that. So hats off to Miesha Tate. Happy for her. Hope that her career over at ONE FC is great. And I hope that ONE FC starts picking up some fighters and like Demetrius Johnson, like we were talking about. And I hope that they start getting on the map because UFC needs some competition. That being said, UFC Fight Night is in the books, 139. It was this past weekend. Korean Zombie fought Yair Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez was let go from the UFC and came back. This was his welcome back fight. Not sure what went on there, why he was let go, but he was. He's a hell of a fighter. I mean, just absolutely dynamic and crazy to watch. He's very fun to watch, but he was losing this fight against Korean Zombie. Korean Zombie, who'd been out with an injury and did a couple of years in the Korean Army and things like that. He's a fan favorite. One of those fighters that just keeps pushing forward. Why do you call him Korean Zombie? Because the guy doesn't stop. He can be knocked out on his feet, and he's still throwing punches. Well, guess what happened here? Yair Rodriguez stopped him. This was a 5-round fight. We were 4 minutes and 59 seconds into the 5th round when they went at it, just throwing haymakers at each other for the last 10 seconds of the fight, and an elbow out of nowhere. A weird elbow, too. I mean, it was like over the back, over his shoulder. Yair Rodriguez caught Korean Zombie right in the head, knocked him out clean like a sack of potatoes, just fell straight down. Instant victory, instant KO. One of the coolest KOs you'll ever see. I was sad to see Zombie take the loss, but at the same time, this is a fighting game. He'll be back, and maybe he'll be stronger than ever, but Yair Rodriguez is the real deal. He's going to come back even stronger than this, and I'm sure he's here to make a statement because getting cut and getting let go was probably not what he wanted, so he wants to remain. On the undercard there, you had Donald Cerrone versus Mike Perry. This was like a Jackson Wink gym issue here where Donald Cerrone used to be part of the Jackson Wink gym, and I don't know what the drama was, but Mike Perry is now part of that gym, and it's no longer Donald Cerrone's gym and blah, blah, blah. All right, here's what happened. Donald Cerrone made Mike Perry tap. End of story. Doesn't matter whose gym it was. Donald Cerrone won. He looked like a beast. When he is happy and friendly with his opponent, he looks like crap. When he's under super significant pressure, like a title shot, he looks like crap. But when he is just out there to kill it, and he doesn't see anything but the enemy in front of him, he kills it. And he does one hell of a job. And I love seeing Donald Cerrone come out like that, like a beast. Now, another quick side note, quick story. Floyd Mayweather, there was a lot of rumor about him coming and fighting in an MMA fight. As you remember, last year he fought Conor McGregor and in a boxing match. And then there was talk about maybe him coming and fighting Conor in MMA, which would never happen. I mean, absolutely no way. There's no way unless he got a ton of money. Now, here's the story. Tenshin Nasukawa. Tenshin Nasukawa. It was announced for Rizin Fighting that Floyd Mayweather was going to fight Tenshin Nasukawa, and an MMA bout. And he was overseas, I guess, or something when this all got announced. He came back and he said, no. That's not what happened. A brief summary of what he said was going to happen was he was going to do an exhibition fight for a wealthy spectator for a very, very large fee. It was going to be, there was no intentions of it being represented as an official fight or taped or anything like that. He wasn't doing this to say he's an MMA fighter. He was just doing it for money. And when it got announced as an official fight on a fight card, he was like, no fucking way. So that ain't happening. Floyd Mayweather is not going to be fighting this guy unless he's just being all talk right now, trying to drive up the price or negotiate or something. But it doesn't. I can't imagine him getting in the ring. He has no need to. The guy's not short of money. He would look like a fool probably being in the ring in an MMA bout, and especially if he lost to a nobody. That would ruin any chances of him going against like Conor McGregor. So if he's going to do an MMA bout, it is going to be for money, just like Conor did it in boxing. But I don't see that happening. He's not the type of guy who's going to try to embarrass himself. So yeah, don't anticipate that. Okay, some backlog stuff for movies and shows. I've been catching up on The Walking Dead, or Fear the Walking Dead, sorry. With all the spoilers and everything coming out with The Walking Dead, I knew I needed to catch up. And I'm trying to watch these seasons of Fear the Walking Dead between The Walking Dead, so that means I got a lot to catch up on because I'm on season 3, episode 9. And here I see, pictures of on the front of the season 4 with what's that guy's name? The guy from The Walking Dead, the main show, is now appearing in Fear the Walking Dead. So I guess I gotta catch up and figure out why the hell that's happening and how the hell that's happening. I mean, it just seems way too out of the loop there, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. My buddy Jed's been telling me, you gotta watch Cobra Kai. You gotta watch Cobra Kai. And luckily I have YouTube Premium, which is where that's hosted. It's not on Netflix or anything like that. Cobra Kai is the 2018 revamp of the Karate Kid story saga. And in this season 1, it's like a different take. It's a different look. If you are old enough like me and grew up in the 80s, you'll remember Cobra Kid, Karate Kid, sorry, was a story about a kid who moved to the city and basically got bullied and fell in love and learned karate and defeated the bad guy. Well, the flip side of the story is this guy Johnny, who was the bad guy in the movie, and now you get to see his perspective and what it's done to him. Basically, this guy in his perspective is like he's just trying to make it, trying to do his karate, trying to do this and that, and he has a girlfriend, he loves her. And then this guy Johnny shows up, this kid Karate Kid shows up and takes his girlfriend and takes her from him, and then beats him in the finals of the whatever. And he had a bad leader, a bad sensei. So the sensei got victories, but it was all about like pain and punishment, hurt the opposition. Whereas the Karate Kid and Mr. Miyagi were all about respect and this and that. So it's a different dynamic, you get to see this different way. And on top of that, the Karate Kid's like this master douchebag car salesman. So it's a cool take on Karate Kid. It's a season. They're really quick, 20, 30-minute episodes. I think 10 or 12 episodes total. So you can tear through it like I did pretty easily. I watched all of season 1. I know there's season 2. I'm looking forward to it. I definitely recommend it. So if that's on your backlog, check it out. Last but not least, and then we're going to dive into nothing but video games going forward, is 3D printing. Guys, this is awesome. It's a great hobby to get into, but it is a time-consuming hobby. So one of the things about 3D printing is when you do print, it takes forever. If you want to print something of significance, it's going to take 6 to 12 hours. There are prints that take 48, 60 hours, blah, blah, blah. I'm still just getting started. I still have a lot of things to do, but I put together a shelf for my 3D printer. I've bought parts to upgrade the printer because basically I bought a cheap $150, $200 printer that if you add some cool parts to it and stuff and upgrade some pieces, another $100, maybe $150 spent, you get yourself a much better printer. So I've done that. I'm still trying to figure out how to get this thing calibrated properly so that when I start it up and start printing, I can get that going right away rather than tinker with it for half an hour. That's my biggest pet peeve with printers. When I was a t-shirt guy, I had a t-shirt printer. Pain in the ass, constantly tinkering with a printer. I don't know why I do this to myself. But if you're interested in 3D printing, want to understand how to get started or whatever, shoot me a line, hit me up on Twitter or Facebook group or whatever. I'll be glad to talk to you about it, even if it's just a one-on-one combo. It's a lot of fun, and I recommend it. It's not super expensive. It is a little bit pricey to jump in, but you're wondering what the filament cost. Filament's the plastic that goes through it, like the ink or whatever. $20 a roll. You can even get it on eBay for cheaper, and that roll goes a long way. So you can print quite a bit of stuff for relatively cheap. The cost of the energy to run this printer is relatively low, so it's really just about the equipment and the time that it takes. So definitely some cool Christmas ideas coming up. I'm going to be printing some stuff for Christmas for the family and friends, and hopefully they'll enjoy it. But yeah, if you want any information, hit me up. I'd love to talk about it because it's a pretty cool hobby. So where does that bring me? Well, let's see. What have I been playing this week? Now, Joe still has me on lockdown, right? We have not played a game together in months. He and I used to play literally every single night. We'd play Fortnite for hours on end, or Call of Duty or something. And, with all this moving and this and that, he really hasn't had time, so I've been at a loss here. I've been playing a lot of random squads in Fortnite. Season 6 is pretty cool, but I'll be honest with you. Out of nowhere, I just kind of lost it. I lost the interest. The Cube event and all that crap was amazing. It was phenomenal to watch. It was cool, but Season 6 is just like, not a lot. Not a lot going on, to be honest. Nothing super special anyways. You have this every week in the Battle Pass, they have challenges, and if you complete 7 weeks worth of challenges, you get a secret character. The secret character is just this robot. Normally it feels like there's a story there or something, but the robot isn't a character I would have purchased, to be honest. So usually you'd like to see that special unlockable character be something that's like better than something that you'd buy. But this one was just kind of meh, I don't know. Hard to explain, but my desire to jump in and play is not as much as it used to be. And I don't know, maybe it's just other games, right? So Tetris has been in my mind. I sleep and I think of these blocks. I'm loving playing this Tetris. I've been getting in there quite a bit. And I've been jumping into Call of Duty. I wanted to see what this, what the Battle Royale felt like now that it's been out for a while. And I've been waiting to play with Joe, to be honest. I really wanted to play with him and play with somebody, play with people that I know. But I got into some great teams, some great squads. Again, random squads, but I got in there and had a lot of fun. I mean, the first couple of rounds, you got to get used to, if you're playing a lot of Fortnite, you got to get used to playing the new, the Call of Duty style, the fast-paced, the instant death, the this, that, the other thing. It took a couple of rounds, probably 3 or 4. But once you get a feel for the gameplay, the movement, and all that, and it's a little bit even different than multiplayer Call of Duty. Once you get that down, you can play. You can play just like you jump into a game of Call of Duty or Fortnite. You can just play and die and play and die and play and die. It doesn't feel frustrating. The one thing I do have to say is I'm not savvy with gun knowledge, so I don't know what all the different gadgets and guns are. I know what a scope is. I know what a 2-time scope is or whatever, 4X, and I know what armor means and all that. But it's like there's just a lot of options, a lot of things that you gotta figure out, and I don't like all that extra customization. I like armor should be armor, right? Level 1, level 2, and level 3 armor. It drives me nuts. Because the one guy who gets the level 3 armor, there's very few and far between, right? But like that, I think that's why Fortnite the balance feels a little bit more correct there. Everybody has equal access to the potions, right? The shield and all that. And while, someone might get a gun that's way better than the gun that you pick up, in Call of Duty, the gun balancing feels right? We all have access to the guns that are laying all over the floor. There's no like gold gun, at least not that I've seen. Maybe there is, I don't know. But the guns themselves, it's just more about like the accuracy to aiming and all that. They have the different feel, the different style. But it really comes down to, did you get the shield? Did you get the backpack? Right? In order to carry more, you got to find a backpack. But I think that's the thing I don't like about it, is it's not a level playing field, because if some guy lands and gets a backpack, which they're not everywhere, right? You'd think that if you don't get a backpack, you can only carry like 5 items. But if you do get a backpack, you can carry double that or triple that. It just feels like that's a thing that needs to be corrected. Also, not only do you have the body armor, but you have the healing benefits. So you can get a 50+ shield in a trauma kit. So you can have your life go up to 200, where it's normally 150. And that 50% makes a big difference as well. So if you don't run into level 3 armor or backpack or a good perk like silent steps or whatever the hell they call it, it's like, it just feels like the roll of the dice there is a little bit more. Someone who comes across a couple of those things right off the bat is way more, just they have a better chance. Now, the other thing is, those things that I'm talking about, like the armor, you kill somebody, you can't take their armor, right? Because you just broke it by killing them. At least as far as I understand. So while you can take their trauma kits and things like that, it just doesn't feel level for me. Even when I'm the one winning, it's like I got a level 3 and I'm over here taking people out and they're hitting me, and it's like, I don't know. Anyways, had a couple of great plays, great rounds. Didn't win, but came very close to winning 3 separate occasions, which was pretty cool. Definitely felt like a battle royale as opposed to a Call of Duty game. And if you have not tried it, I definitely recommend it. But as we talk about that, we're getting awfully close to the release of the Battlefield 5. Battlefield 5 comes out in 3 days. And in 3 days, we're going to find out if this game is going to live up to the hype that they have talked about. And I played the beta. I actually liked the beta a lot, but man, even Call of Duty did this just now. All of a sudden, microtransactions are like flooding the market. You can buy COD points. No one wants that shit, man. No one wants that. I know that the people selling the game want it, but people buying the game aren't excited about microtransactions. It sucks. It sucks that money is driving this. And you see in the Diablo thing where they're going the route of the cell phone, because it's so easy to tap into your bank account via the cell phone. It's so easy to have microtransactions rule the world on your cell phone. Don't kid yourself. That is the reason mobile gaming is so significant to these companies. It's not because it's easier to develop. It's not because it's innovative. It sucks. Mobile gaming sucks compared to flat or 3D or virtual gaming. Mobile gaming is the bane of our existence right now as true gamers. It is cool to be able to pick up your phone and play games. I am not suggesting that gaming on your mobile device is not fun, but taking a platform game, taking an iconic series like Diablo and putting it on your phone as opposed to putting it on your computer or your PlayStation or your Xbox is a sin. They're doing it because that phone is tied to your bank account, and you will just be able to click a button to buy gems, and those gems will make them a shit ton of money. And they don't care that you have just completely hated on them. They don't care that they're the memes right now, the laughing stock. They're going to make their money. Blizzard will survive this. There is no doubt. And just like that, Call of Duty. Unbelievable. They launched, they waited a couple weeks, and then they launched the frickin' black market with all these microtransactions and stuff, and it's just like, oh my god, like, and they don't really tell you, right? So I'm in the what the fuck is it called? I'm in the battle royale mode, and I get a contract that I can buy for 800 COD points. Now, because I bought the premium whatever pass, I had a bunch in there, so I was like, oh, I'll buy this contract, right? I want a new skin for battle royale, so I unlock the skin. And it turns out it's the hardest skin to get. And to use him in Battle Royale, you have to win a game with 3 perks activated at the same time. So when you activate a perk, it only lasts for a few minutes. So you have to time it and have all three perks going while you get the victory, I believe. Someone said, I read online, that you just have had to have used the 3 perks during the game. Others have said, no, you need them active at the same time. Either way, I paid for this freaking character, and they're like, yeah, you can still use this character in multiplayer right now. Well, what the hell? Now I can't use this character I paid for in Battle Royale until I unlock him? It's nuts to me. At least in Fortnite, you have all these silly costumes and stuff, and if you buy it, you can play it right there. I couldn't imagine buying a costume for $8 or whatever in a game and then having them say, cool, you unlocked it, but only way you can play it and actually add it to your inventory is to win a game with using your glider 16 times. It's like, I don't know, winning a game is hard enough. I mean, not everyone gets that chance. And so it just seems like an awfully challenging challenge that shouldn't be hidden behind a paywall. That being said, it's still a fun game, right? You don't need to do those things, but otherwise everyone's the same character running around. Same couple characters. So the personalization seems to be pretty important in this day and age, and even hiding personalization behind a paywall is huge, and people are willing to go that route. I personally am willing to go that route. I enjoy it. If I like a game enough and I feel like they've put enough effort into it, I don't mind paying for those things. But if I were broke, I wouldn't be doing it, and I'd still be playing the game, because you don't have to. You don't have to do those things. It's just fun it's silly. It's fun. Maybe we'll look back and say, why did we spend all that money? But I hope that at least I can recognize that the fun I've had with the game is worth it. That being said, I'm not going to be buying any more COD things without fully understanding that what it goes to. You know, like if I unlock it, will I be able to use it? So, Battlefield 5, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but I was reading today that on Battlefield 5, the Battle Royale mode won't be available till early next year. So if that's not coming out this week, I'm going to be pretty pissed. But to be honest, I haven't been looking too deep lately. I was going to be buying Battlefield 5 just because I played the beta, and the beta was good. But then I was going to wait a few days to buy it, like at least a week before I purchased it, because I wanted to wait and see what happens, right? Just like this Battlefield, just like this Call of Duty thing. And EA has been well known in doing this kind of shit. So I was going to wait. Well, my wife won a copy of the game for me on PlayStation, so I'll be getting Battlefield 5 in a couple of days. I think it might ship the day it comes out, so I might not get it on release day. But oh, man, that's so awesome, and thank you to my wife for that, because that is saves me $60 right there. Boom, and I get to play it right away. And if it sucks, I don't have to feel bad about bitching about it. So I just won't play it. But I don't think it'll suck. I think the game will be solid. All these Battlefield games are pretty good, but they seem monotonous sometimes. Like you're in this void. And this was the first game that actually felt closer to the Bad Company feel. Bad Company was just such a great feeling game to me. Maybe it was the time. Maybe it was the games that were out at the time alongside of it. But I loved playing that, and I look forward to playing another game that's like that. Some other releases. Let me go through these real quick. We have Fallout 76 coming out tomorrow. I've been seeing some streams on that. Looks pretty damn good. Again, it's another Fallout game. So if you love the Fallout games, it looks like it's going to be one to hit and not miss. But at the same time, if you're not into that futuristic style, like that, it's Skyrim with guns as opposed to magic, if you're not into it, you might not like this one. So keep an eye out. That's why I love Twitch, right? Watch the streams, watch people playing it, see if it's your style of game. If you haven't gotten into any of the Fallout games, you haven't seen them, you can get them all pretty cheap these days, right? I've played a lot of them. I've never beaten a Fallout game, but I always play it, have fun with it, and then put it down. The stories are so long, so if you like spending 50 to 60 hours on a game like Skyrim, this is for you. If you don't have time to play that type of game, don't worry about it. Just watch it. Watch people play it. Spyro, that's a game I never really played, but I knew about it. Spyro, one of the iconic characters of the PlayStation platform. They've redesigned the first 3 Spyros for PS4. Comes out today, 11/13. So you can check that out. That's something for you. And announced last week Beat Saber, coming out 11/20. We have 1 week from today. I cannot wait. I'll be getting Beat Saber on PSVR, and I'll be losing weight by swinging my arms like a madman, hitting blocks, just like in Tetris, only it's coming at you. And I'm definitely going to be playing that. A couple more coming up before the end of the year. We got PlayStation Classic Console coming out 12/3, so a couple weeks away. Just Cause 4 on 12/4. Nintendo Switch is going to be getting Katamari Damacy, which is a game that just kind of keeps coming out like Street Fighter 2 every couple of years. You see that same game getting launched somewhere, somehow, but it's going to be on the Switch for $30. I love Katamari, but that's a kind of a high price for that game. One that I've been really, really excited about, Smash Brothers. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate just looks to be the ultimate game, fighting game for any system right now. I can't wait for this one. We'll be picking that up 12/7. And then I already pre-ordered Borderlands 2 VR 12/14. That's definitely going to be something I play the hell out of in my VR headset. I'm looking forward to that one. Very, very highly anticipated. Borderlands is just one of the most iconic games that I've ever played. And I'm so interested in how this is going to play and feel. I hope to hell that they're working on a Borderlands 3. And I hope to hell that they're even going to integrate a Borderlands VR style aspect, because I would love to play a battle royale in that world, and I would love to be able to access all those different guns in a battle royale map. I just think that that's something that could and should happen. I hope that they're working on that. Who knows? Maybe we'll hear something after the new year. Kingdom Hearts coming out in January. Anthem coming out in February. Metro Exodus coming out in February. The new Trials Rising coming out in February. Division 2 coming out in March. And we're still waiting on Dreams VR. Since it's 11/13, I just can't see this game coming out. Unless they do like Beat Saber did and say, hey, in 10 days we're coming out with this game. I don't know. I can't see the game of this significance, of this level, the quality of what this game is going to provide. It's supposed to change the gaming industry forever. I just don't see that popping up in like a week. They're going to do some massive marketing for that. So it kind of scares me that it's not out yet, that it's not talked about a release date yet, but I know they're getting close. So Dreams VR, TBD. Hopefully it comes out soon. But I got so much on my backlog that I'm willing to wait. Let's see. Do I want to talk about anything else? I've seen people playing the Overkill's Walking Dead. That looks pretty good. Death Stranding coming out next year. And Last of Us 2 coming out next year, as well as Days Gone, Wolfenstein Youngblood, Wolfenstein Cyberpilot, Doom Eternal, Dying Light 2, Yoshi's Crafted World, Dead Island 2, Cyberpunk 2077. We are loaded. We are absolutely loaded with potential in the next year and as we wrap up this year. So I just cannot wait. Ralph Breaks the Internet. That's a movie coming out in a week and a day. Come on. The video games and Wreck-It Ralph, can't beat that. I'm all about it. Looking forward to this one. This one looks funny, looks good for the family. We've talked about it, but my kids love Wreck-It Ralph, and my wife is going to love this one too because of Vanellope and all the princesses being all sassy and all that. So check it out. All right. Couple minutes left. Let's wrap it up here with a couple of things on my backlog. So, games on my top 3. All right, my flat games. I got Red Dead Redemption 2. It's sitting right next to me. I'm going to start playing it soon, but I'm working on some other things. So I'm going to try to beat Spider-Man first. That's the next game that has to be beaten from me. So as I get into or out of Fortnite, I'm going to go back into Spider-Man. I'm going to beat that, and then I'm going to be playing some Red Dead Redemption 2. And I also have to beat God of War. Those are the top 3 games on my backlog for flat gaming, but there's also VR, right? I have to beat Resident Evil 7 and Astro Bot. And one of the other games that I know I need to beat, it's still on my backlog. It's called Megaton Rainfall. Mixed reviews, right? But one guy developed it. It's a pretty cool game. I know it's not long to beat, so I'm just going to knock that one off the list. You're like a god flying around the universe, and you can get from here to Mars in a second, or Mars to another galaxy in a second, and fly around in VR, and the graphics are pretty neat. when you get closer to the worlds and you get on land, it's kind of repetitive and procedurally generated. It's not at any significant detail like No Man's Sky or anything, but it looks good. So I'm going to play that one. I did play about an hour or two of that in the past when it first came out. Haven't gotten around to beating it. So those are the top 3 games on my VR. Resident Evil 7, scary as hell. I'm getting back into that as well. It's so hard, right? I mean, let's be real here. I talk about all these games. I gotta play. But who has the time? Who has the time? Well, hopefully we can start making time. This is I'm gonna wrap it up with this little insight here. I talk to friends who don't have the time. I talk to family who doesn't have the time. I talk to people I know. We're getting older. We don't have time to do the things we love. And that's completely fair, right? Because the things we love change. The things we love go from being video games to hanging out with our kids. The things we love go from being video games to watching a show with our wives or husbands or whatever, right? The things we love go from playing video games to mowing the lawn and keeping the yard looking good so that our neighbors say hi to you when you go outside. The things that we love change. But that doesn't mean we can only love one thing at a time. So if you loved video games, right, this is to my friend, this is going out to any of the friends that I have that don't really game anymore but are listening to this podcast because they know me or something. This is going out to the people who listen to this because they'd like to game more but they just don't have the time. If you played games at one point in your life, which we all do, right? Let's be real. At one point in our lives, we're playing video games of some sort. If you love it, live it. Find a way. Tuck it in. Integrate it. Gaming isn't childish. It's technical. It's difficult. It's stressful. It's fun. It's energetic. It's mesmerizing. There's so many positives that come out of playing video games. And it's, when I was a kid, it was kind of you're a geek or a nerd or whatever. You're playing video games, blah, blah, blah. You like Star Wars. Well, look what this world's changed into, right? Star Wars has become one of the coolest and most significant franchises. Iron Man, all the DC comics and all that went from being that's geeky to pay attention to Marvel and DC to like that's the coolest thing that you've ever seen on TV, right? On a movie screen. They've made it. So the world has changed, and with it, video games have grown, and there's so many options. There's so many things. But if you used to play with some friends, it wouldn't hurt to reach out and say, hey, you guys still play? It wouldn't hurt to pick up these systems on these ridiculous great deals. I mean, what you can get for the price is just phenomenal these days. And as we look to the end of the PlayStation 4 era, we're looking probably another year or two. We're going to be talking about the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. The PC gaming is better than ever with what you can do with your PCs. And, my freaking friend is in a video game. My friend is in the next WWE 2K19. He's in the Titan Pack. And, to be able to look and customize a character and you're using Hansen's moves. Hansen character moves that he went to a studio and filmed or whatever. Somebody did, I don't know. But they're doing it because of him. And I know him. It's just phenomenal, right? I'm going to play that game. I'm going to make time to play that because that makes me happy. It makes me happy to play games with friends. It makes me happy to get enjoyment, to get stressed out, to get silly. It makes me happy to have fun with the people that I like being around or like talking to. That's me, right? I'm not saying this was the same for you, but I'm suggesting that if at one time you did find happiness doing that, pick up a controller, give it a shot, because our industry, the industry that I support, the gaming industry, would love to have you back. And one last and final note, as we talked about Marvel, I want to say my condolences to Stan Lee, just an amazing figure in the entertainment industry and an amazing figure in gaming. He has absolutely revolutionized what we know and love about film what we know and love about characters in general, superheroes. And he's thought of a lot of the things that, you know, when you're a kid and you say, if I were a superhero, I'd want invisibility, or I'd want super strength, or the ability to jump super high. And this guy, not only did he think it, he wrote it, he made it come to life. So he lived a good, long, fulfilling, hopefully fulfilling life. Stan Lee dead at 95. It's great to recognize his accomplishments, because this guy was just special. He was really special, and he had a great sense of humor. You saw that in his appearances and his cameos in the movies and his interviews, if you ever caught any of them. Guy was a class act, funny guy. Sorely missed. It's going to be a sad time not to see him in any more movies as cameos. But I'm going to take another sip of my organic chocolate stout for him. So one of the last things anyways, when I was recording yesterday with my son, I was talking about Veterans Day, and I wanted to recognize the veterans, and I know that everybody does, so I don't want to draw it out too long here, because it's, you know, it's overdone. It's over. Your Veterans Day was yesterday, right? But that doesn't matter. I have so many that I would love to say thank you, hats off to you. I appreciate your service and the sacrifice that you've made. From boot camp to getting out of the service to staying in forever. You've all done an amazing thing for us Americans, selflessly, and I thank you for that. I have too many in my family to count and list here, but you know who you are, and I thank you. And Joe, our co-host, is a veteran. Joe, thank you for your service, and look to have you back soon. All right, that's it. That wraps up episode 25 of the Backlog Exposed. Again, reach out, shout out, hit us up. We're on Twitter at the Backlog Pod, so that's growing. Please tweet us. Let us know what you want to talk about. We'd love to hit you back and share stories or talk about topics that you want us to talk about. And blah, 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 blah. I could go on forever, but thank you all for listening. Peace out. November 13th is in the books. Stay tuned. Episode 26 coming up soon. And Thanksgiving's right around the corner. Get ready to eat. Take care.